get vaccinated.
We're running out of time here, but there's the Devolution Conference happening right now, and Governor Mutua, I want to hear your views on this, as also we take closing remarks at the same time, because this is the last 7 minutes of the show. Has devolution worked? What are the hits and misses?
Yes, Trevor, thank you. But I'd like also to just jump in. Yes, as my running mate has said, when I was in New York, the signs actually say New York City requires. So this is not just the restaurants doing it by themselves or the movie theaters. It is the state of New York and the city of New York that requires that you to be vaccinated against COVID-19 to enter this business. And you must show proof. And once you show the proof, they also go through a list of the type of vaccine that you have, because there's some vaccines that they say are not, they don't agree with. So you have to qualify, and then you're allowed in, because it's about protection of the larger group. And at times, individual freedom, even though we got Constitution, the Constitution, individual freedoms can be set aside for communal freedom, for communal goodwill. That has happened all over the world. And so, as you know, the US is, we call it the bastion of human rights and human dignity and individual freedom, but those can be put aside for the sake of the community. And I think that's where Mutaikawa was coming from, but I totally agree that civic education is the way to go. Okay. Now, the Devolution Conference is going very well. And if you look at where devolution has reached, and I listened to the speech by Raila Odinga yesterday, and the speeches that were given yesterday, and even the President Uhuru Kenyatta, if anybody tries to reverse devolution, there will be a revolution in this country. Lives have changed tremendously. If you look at what we were able to do before and now, it's totally different. I was explaining to Raila Odinga when he came to the stand of Machakos with Antonani CS Matiang'i and the others and the other governors about how in Machakos I found people starving. That every time there was lack of rainfall, people starved. But because of devolution, because decisions are being made from the ground in Machakos, I can go around, I can listen to my people. I bought tractors, I gave free seed, I gave free chicken to our women, I dug boreholes, I've dug over 500 dams and ponds. As a result of all those initiatives that are homegrown from Machakos, Machakos is not in the list of counties that are given food relief because of devolution. People are dying. If you look at what is happening, I always talk about Kisii Hospital. I remember going to Kisii Hospital when I was government spokesman. It was terrible. Look at what Ongwae has done in Kisii Hospital. Look at what has been done in Makueni with the Mother Care Hospital. Look at what Ngilu has done in Kitui. These are my neighbors I'm talking about. Look at what has happened in Kiambu, in some of the works that has been done in agriculture, in Murang'a. You look at Kisumu, what Anyang is doing and what has been done. It's tremendous. And even here in Machakos, people used to die. I bought ambulances. Now, you know, and I like using it as an example because, you know, we had kids called Mwanzia, Zelani, because they used to be born by the roadside. Now they are not born on the roadside. Now the registrar of persons the other day called me and said they have a big problem because all the kids being registered in Machakos County, there are so many being called Alfred Mutua. And I told them, well, they are not my children. And he said, yes, it's because these people are saying the mother was carried by an ambulance bought by Governor Mutua. That's why they did not die. So the family decides to name the child, it's a boy, Alfred Mutua. These are the fruits of devolution. People are not dying. Our mothers are not dying. People are not starving. Yeah. We're getting roads are being built. Yeah. So when it comes to the Devolution Conference, it's going very well. Yes. And this is the last annual one. Okay. After this, they'll be held biannual, so every 2 years. But this is a big celebration of where we've come as a country.
All right. That would make your closing remarks as well. Mweke?
Yeah, I think devolution is the best thing that ever happened to this country. Yeah. It has brought services much closer to the people, and lives have been changed because of devolution. So it's one of the best things that really ever happened to this country. What I think are the misses of devolution is intergovernmental affairs, the relationship between the county governments and the national government. I think we're still struggling a little bit over there. You've seen a lot of the counties being shut down because of money not coming on time, which denies services to the people at the grassroots. You've seen Schedule 14 of our constitution, which shows the functions of the national government and functions of the county government not being implemented properly. Water is a fully devolved function. It should be at the county governments. The national government still keeps a big chunk of the water function. Healthcare is a fully devolved function. The national government still keeps a big chunk of that. So, my recommendation as we continue implementing our constitution is let all the functions be fully devolved, and the money also, the resources also follow with the devolution of the functions, so that counties can continue to change lives and bring services closer to the people.
All right, Wanga, what is your assessment?
And I want to agree that devolution has been a game changer for our country, and I want to particularly speak to the issues that were being spoken to at the Devolution Conference this year around climate change, and how much we should focus on issues of climate change, because they relate directly to other issues affecting us, such as conflict. I mean, if you look at drought, if you look at severe drought, if you look at people fighting over, pasture, if you look at people. So I think bringing climate change into focus, because Kenyans have thought that climate change is a foreign, concept that should be spoken about in Paris, whatever, but in here we are polluting our water bodies and so on and so forth. So, and speaking about digging early graves for our people on the issue of climate change. So I just wanted to really applaud the focus on climate change and how it affects the regular Kenyan, and so that it is not seen as a foreign concept. The fact that climate, patterns have changed so much that what we used to grow, we no longer can grow, and so on and so forth. Devolution and counties must focus on the issue of climate change. And I think I really want to, agree with some of those issues that were raised.
Okay. Wamatangi, finally?
Trevor, I would answer. I think I would answer it in three ways. First, I think there are three questions here. Is devolution a good thing? I would answer yes. There will be the question: is the Devolution Conference going on well? Has it done what it should to the people of that area? I think yes. But the third question: has devolution itself, in the Kenyan context since 2010, worked effectively and probably almost near satisfactorily? And I would answer no, in my view. And that does not mean that it's not a good thing. It is a good thing. It doesn't mean that what is happening in Makueni is not a good thing. It is a good thing. But have we hit not the bullseye, but close to the bullseye on it? I would answer no. Because, Trevor, if you listen, and there's a term that has been used very recently quite a lot, listening to the ground. If you listen to the ground on the question of devolution, yes, there are a few flagship projects you can point at, and it looks like indeed that project would be the symbol that things have happened well. But spread across the multitudes, people have reason to believe that the best has not found itself to the people out of devolution. I mean, if you listen to the people, Trevor, and the cries they have about pending bills in counties, whereby some county governments have gone to mop the little that their own people have by giving them jobs that they cannot pay for them back to them. I mean, what about if you go around some of the counties, you look at a plethora of incomplete projects that have been started. What about the cases we have pending in courts, some local and elsewhere, about corruption, about theft of monies? And what about the inadequacy that you find? You go to several medical centers, you find that indeed in some cases, the parameter between what CDF has done and what devolved funds have done is not only comparable, but it tilts higher to the words of what CDF has done. I mean, what about people we have given jobs and they have gone there with a sense of entitlement? I mean, why is it that Senate and county assemblies are involved in a quarter of their business discussing about impeachments? That tells you that we have a problem. We have many people that we send to those offices with a sense of entitlement, so that it became a question of tough wars. And unless we call this and ask ourselves, have we seen probably the synergy that we should have seen between county governments and national government, even between county governments themselves? Ask yourself, Trevor, when we started, how many economic blocks did you hear about? There's Coastal Block, Mount Kenya Block, Rift Valley, the Lake Basin Block. What have they done for the people?
Okay.
And do you know, and don't forget this, that as we speak this morning, almost 3 trillion Kenya shillings have found itself to county governments through devolution. 3 trillion. Can you see value for money in the county governments?
All right.
Over 3 trillion. Trevor, as I close, allow me just a quick one so that I make it my closing remark. Just to issue a small explanation, because last week when we were discussing here, Trevor, somebody picked a comment that we made when we were discussing about security. Initially. And then went there and in the course of looking for votes, because this is a vote hunting time, tilted the message that I gave here, that I said that Somalis are involved in sale of arms, and it is a wanton and carefree market. And that was irresponsible, because that is not what I said. And I want to make it very clear this morning, Trevor, that in our discussion, what I said was I drew a parallel about an area which has also been cited earlier, you know, from Majengo to California to Isli to Mathare to Huruma, that the case for buying of illegal firearms within the country finds its tremendity within that area. But nowhere did we discuss about a community. But somebody, I think, who was not responsible enough, in my view, went there to say a certain community is being said that they are selling firearms. That was wrong. It was irresponsible, because that is not what we said in this particular show. I needed to say that.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That is clear. Dr. Kimani Wamatangi, Senator Kiambu, Dr. Alfred Mutua, Governor Machakos, Honorable Gladys Wanga, Homa Bay Women Representative. You're also running for Homa Bay Governor position. And Jonathan Mweke, former Nairobi Deputy Governor, also running for Governor in Kitui. All right, thank you so much for all the views that has come through. We're taking a quick break here. When we come back, it's time for Cooking Tips with Willis Bazu Raburu. See you in a bit.